Hello everyone, I'm Bastian Alexander, and so far we talked a lot about who we are, where we stand for, where do we want to go, what are our values, our rules, our beliefs, our mindset. I talked about it's really important to start from a point of being grateful, know what you already have, find the happiness inside and live the day mindful and go from there and start growing from there. Now it's time to take some real action. We're going to dive into goal setting. We're going to talk about what are goals, how to set them, and how to set them up so you have to achieve them. Stay tuned. So from your values and your identity and your purpose in life, your goals are your measurable and specific actions that you're going to take to follow your dreams, to achieve your dreams. So what do you have to do in order to achieve your dreams and live your dream life? It's really important to set your goals and to have goals and to know your goals. But why? In reality, you already have goals. Everybody has goals in their life, but what are they? Is it just to pay the bills? Is it to survive until Friday to live for the weekend? It's living off the autopilot. Living on the autopilot is not knowing your goals and then not knowing where you want to go. But setting goals, actions, is a motivation, is the engine to keep you going every day, to know where you want to go and why. So where do you start defining your goals? It's almost that the fun is about to start. It's to get in all the details on where you want to go. So first, again, know who you are, know where you want to go. And then sit down and then paint that picture. Where do you want to be in 5 years? Start there and then move that back. So what is your life specifically with all the details in 5 years? What is it in 2 years? What is it in 1 year? In half a year? In 1 month? So you start with the big picture, with the eyes on the prize. This is where I want to go. This is where I want to be in 5 years. And then you move back and take it like, what do I have to do tomorrow in order to get where I want to be in 5 years? Here, you don't need to know all the details yet. You don't need all the strategies and the job maybe, or how you're going to make the money, or how you're going to make a move to a different city or a different country. Those details will come later. As soon as you know what it's going to be, like what the end result will be, like those little details will come along the way. But it is really important for you to know the details in the end. The eyes on the prize, that is really important. That you wake up every morning with that picture in your head where you're heading to. So now we want to dive into like real actionable steps to set your goal. So the most famous way of defining a goal is what they call the SMART method. And I'm sure you heard about it. It means that the goal needs to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. And then you have to set those different goals again for those different period of time. So about 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, 6 months. But make sure that if you define the goal, that they are according to those rules. So is it specific? Is it with all the details in there? Is it measurable? Like how do you know if you achieved a goal? For example, like I'll be rich. What is rich? That is something that is not measurable. You cannot measure if you achieve that goal or not. So make it a specific number. How much are you earning per year, for example? Attainable and realistic. Like how realistic is it that you're gonna achieve the goal? And then timely, by when do you wanna reach it? A couple important notes. The first one, if you start defining your goals and to keep you motivated, my advice would be to start like with shorter term goals that are about 90% that you achieve them. So you're really motivated and you're sure and you believe and everything knows that you're going to make it. And as soon as you get into like goal setting and getting more comfortable setting your goals and reaching your goals, you can make that 90% and set it to 70%. And then I think in the end, to have like a 50% chance of reaching the goal is ideal. It is to raise your standard, to get to that 9 in your life, but also to keep you motivated, that it's not unrealistic. So that is the first one. And the second one, if you do timely, if you look at the time frame of reaching the goal, then it's really important to understand or to know that if you are not reaching your goal or achieving your goal within the time frame that you set, that doesn't mean that you failed the goal. It just means that the timeline wasn't realistic and you just have to push it forward. And then it's important to not get frustrated by it. Oh, I thought by this year or by this month I would have made this much money and I'm not there yet. Just move that timeline, but make sure you're motivated and to make it realistic that you truly believe in that goal and that you're going to achieve it. It's about when you're going to reach the goal and not if. So then what's the difference between a goal and a New Year's resolution, for example? The big difference is that the chance that you're going to achieve a goal is a lot bigger than achieving a New Year's resolution. And the difference is because a goal, you write it down. You're keeping it alive. You think about it every day. A New Year's resolution most times is where you maybe start thinking about early December. And then you go into January and then a little setback and you're like, you know what, forget about it. I'm not going to do it. And then you go back into your old habit or your old behavior. But with a goal, and this is important to know, is to write it down. Not just set a goal in your head, but there's something like with moving and printing it in your brain to actually write it out. Not on a computer, but really on a piece of paper. And to have it visible somewhere on your nightstand or in your office or at least somewhere where you regularly find it and see it. It is important to really keep that goal alive and to think about it every day and keep the eyes on the prize. You probably set goals for different areas in your life. Probably your financial situation, relationship or family, personal development, health, diet or sports. There are different goals in different areas of your life. But what you do, like your core values, is you prioritize them. What goal is the most important to achieve? And make that your number one goal. And make a vision board about it. Visualize that goal and make that your main goal. Set that main goal. I hope to hear from you. Shoot me a message or reply in this video. I read them all and I reply if I can. So I hope to hear from you. And I hope to see you next week. This was it for today. And I'll be back with a fresh new video next week. Saludos!